Good morning from Ajijic. This is what every morning is like. Calm, peaceful, quiet, and it's exactly what I needed after spending so much time in the crazy city of Buenos Aires and then a few days in the second largest city in Mexico, Guadalajara. Ajijic is exactly what I needed. This is what I imagined heaven to be like. Is this heaven? Ajijic is right along Lake Chapala, which is the largest freshwater lake in all of Mexico. It is also a hotspot for retirees from the UK, Canada, and the US, including my own great uncle. That's actually one reason why I wanted to come to Ajijic. My great uncle retired here and died here, so I wanted to see if I could find any information about him.
All these things, I don't know, post-life copy too, and post-life whatever.
So if you too are looking for something quiet and calm and peaceful and heaven-like, consider Ajijic. So in this video, I'm gonna delve a little bit deeper and show you just what you can do in Ajijic so you know exactly what to do when you come to this slice of heaven. Keep in mind, I also write a blog post about every video that I do, so if you want more details, including how to get here, just click in the description below on that blog post. The first thing I want to say is while you're in Ajijic, enjoy your accommodation. Now, I wouldn't normally say, hey, while you're traveling, spend all your time in your hotel. And that's not exactly what I'm saying, but take advantage of it. This place is full of beautiful hotels and guest houses and accommodation. I stayed here in the Victoria for 5 days and I loved it. I could live here. I have my own private balcony with a view of Lake Chapala. I have windows on 3 sides of the room with incredible views. The morning is peaceful and a lot of the accommodation have swimming pools and gardens and courtyards. So if you're here to relax, enjoy your accommodation to the fullest. Keeping with the theme of relaxing, Ajijic is full of massage places. They also have a ton of dentists and doctors and anything health related. But the best part is go get a massage. If you look on Google, you'll see them all over. The one I chose to go to was in Hotel Lindo Ajijic. The place was super professional, very friendly, so getting a massage only made sense for my week of relaxation in Ajijic. If you want to get a really amazing view of Lake Chapala and look down over the entire city of Ajijic, you should definitely do the hike up to El Tepalo. The trailhead is really easy to find. I've just reached the trailhead. I walked up about 15 minutes on all cobblestone street from the city, and then you kind of reach a fork where you can go one way to a hotel or you can go left where the trail is just dirt instead of cobblestone. The rocks are painted all the way up so you won't get lost. It's funny because you turn the corner and almost immediately it gets really steep. I do suggest going as early as possible in the morning because it does get very hot. I've got my first view of the water just back here. I don't know if you can see it. It took about 15 minutes to reach the trailhead from my hotel, and from there it took about 40 minutes going up to the top. Here's the view of the lake. So here's the thing, I did the hike in April, which is the dry season, so I did not see a waterfall. But if you're here in June, July, and August, the rainy season, you do have the potential to see all the trees green and a waterfall coming down. Just keep in mind that it probably isn't a beginner hike. There are a lot of rocks and a lot of steep areas. Ajijic is full of cobblestone streets. So if you'd rather not walk around the streets, then consider taking a horseback ride around Ajijic. I'll let him explain it.
My name is Regino. Si somebody coming to ride a horse, I had a lot of horses right here. Very tame horses, no problem. And I had little horses for the kids. Aquí es mi pueblo, Ajijic. Toda mi vida he estado aquí rentando caballos. La hora cuesta 200. Un tour así acá se les da 1 hora y se da el recorrido así de 1 hora. Y si ya quieren montar ya ellos ya más tiempo o ir a las montañas por más tiempo, yo conozco otras bonitas vistas allá al cerro, que esté bien bonito y bonitos caminos que no estén peligrosos.
If you do feel comfortable walking around on cobblestone, or if you want to do both horseback and walking, then definitely just roam the streets. Ajijic is a very artistic place. A lot of creative people are attracted to come here, and I understand why. It's completely inspiring. They even have an urban sketchers group that meets every Wednesday, and the city is full of murals on nearly every wall. So just take your time and walk around and get to know the city by foot. Consider making the Lake Chapala Society one of your first stops, especially if you're planning to retire here. The Lake Chapala Society is a society run by the foreigners who live here, pretty much all retired, but it seems like a really nice community. Everyone knows each other. They have concert halls, a library, administration. They have volunteers every day to help you out and answer your questions. Inside their space, it's like this amazing garden. They also have a really cute cafe. This is where I went to try to find information about my great uncle. To no success, but I tried.
Interestingly enough, it doesn't look like it's here.
I came to the Lake Chapala Society this morning because I wanted to see if they have any records on Arthur, my great uncle. Apparently they only keep records for like 5 years after someone dies. I guess I just have to get lucky and see if I meet someone who's lived here that long. So while you're wandering around the city center of Ajijic, definitely make a stop in Plaza Principal by both day and night. In the center, you'll find the gazebo with all of those classic Mexican flags coming off the center. It is so cute. And surrounding the plaza are a bunch of restaurants and cafes. The general energy of the place is really nice. It really feels like a community meeting place. There's also great shopping and crafts in Ajijic. Just off of the main plaza, there's a little street that has a bunch of vendors selling rings and different things that they've made. And then as you go closer to the Malecón as well, there are vendors and there are just beautiful shops all over. So take some time and go in and out of these shops, get some handmade items from Ajijic. While you're near the Plaza Principal, just walk over 1 block and you'll find Parroquia San Andres. Now, whether you're religious or not, it is cool to see. The rockwork on the outside is very interesting and it just feels old. It doesn't feel like one of those massive ornate cathedrals. Feels like what it might have felt like in 1700s. One of the absolute best parts of Ajijic is the Malecón. Malecón is like the boardwalk that goes along the water, along Lake Chapala. It's lined with palm trees. Sometimes there's vendors. Sometimes people are selling juice or jewelry. But it goes pretty far and it's incredibly peaceful. It is also where you'll find the Ajijic sign if you want to take a picture with that. And if you have time, definitely make sure you see the Malecón by both day and night. Totally different vibes, both cool, very unique. Like I mentioned before, Ajijic is full of artists. It's only natural that artists would be attracted to come to a place like this and that a place like this would inspire artists. So there are a few museums around, including the Museo de Arte Ajijic. It does cost 40 pesos to get in, but they have rotating work of local artists. Like anywhere in Mexico, you can always eat well, and Ajijic is no exception. There are a ton of cute little cafes around town. One of the more popular ones for breakfast or cafe, at least with foreigners, is a place called La Vie en Rose. It's a French bakery and they have cappuccinos, croissants, whatever other pastries. They have a really nice patio out front so you can just relax and have your coffee. Then when it comes to lunch or dinner, you absolutely must stop at Tango Ajijic. And I'm not just saying that because it's Argentinian. I'm saying that because the food is genuinely delicious. When I said I was coming to Ajijic, all my local friends told me you have to go to Tango Ajijic. And apparently people come from Guadalajara to Ajijic just for the night, just to eat at Tango. It is a little bit more on the expensive side when comparing to other food in Mexico. Although if you're comparing to prices in the United States, it's pretty decent. I got salmon and mashed potatoes and of course a glass of Malbec for around $22. On the weekends, it's super easy to hear live music everywhere, including at Alex's Pasta Bar, at El Barco. But my favorite bar is a little dive bar called Camaleon. I stumbled upon it kind of by accident. It looked like nothing was going on, but a few people inside sitting at the bar, so I was like, let's go in and see what happens. There was live music playing, and I went in, got a beer, and within 10 minutes, some locals invited me to come over and sit with them, and then we made a little group and we all became friends and we sang to the live music. It was so welcoming and so much fun. So Ajijic is a pretty small town, and there are other towns nearby that you can check out as well while you're here. It's super easy to go between them. The first is Chapala. It's about 15 minutes down the road, and it only costs 9 pesos to take the bus from Ajijic to Chapala. Chapala is technically the capital city of this lake region, and it shows. It definitely feels more big city when comparing to Ajijic. It's nothing like Guadalajara, but it's definitely bigger than Ajijic, although I would say the main attraction attractions are all down close to the water along the Malecón. So when you're in Chapala, obviously take a walk along the Malecón, get yourself a nieve de garrafa, which is kind of like a snow cone. It's almost a mix between ice cream and a snow cone, but I got mamey and maracuja. Rent a boat, take a boat ride in Lake Chapala. There are also a ton of restaurants right along the water if you want to have breakfast or lunch. Get a tejuino or check out the markets. All along the Malecón are several stalls set up with items for sale. The traditional shoes and clothes and the cantaritos, those tequila mugs, anything. It's a great place to go shopping. I will say though, prices at the market did seem a little bit higher in Chapala than they did in Guadalajara markets. Another place to go to that is in the opposite direction of Chapala is a place called San Juan Cosalá. This little town is known for thermal spas. There are quite a few in the area. One of the most popular ones is at the Hotel Balneario de San Juan Cosalá. However, if you want to go and you don't want kids around, there is one that is adults only. It's called Termal Cosalá. I actually need to pack up and leave now, and I'm so sad. I came here to relax and find information about my great uncle. Well, unfortunately, in the end, I really wasn't able to find anything about my great uncle. They had his book in the library, supposedly, but it wasn't there. However, I do completely understand why he retired here. This is the perfect place to live, and I might be back in 30 years. But of course, it's always nice to have a balance as well. So if you're wondering what to do in the big city of Guadalajara, just click on this video here and you can see what I did in 48 hours. Why not?